Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli. Watch the greenbacks
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're delighted you're here, and we're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. There's a link to your instructors on the website, USAPrepares.com. And converging threats are confronted daily by your instructors. Trevor's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. Captain John Regan's with us in Dallas. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
You know, I was just thinking of this Guns 80 commercial that I wrote over the weekend. And I don't know if it's over the top or not, but well, I'm going to record it after this broadcast. You know, I want to tell you, John, I had a lot of trouble in the studio over the weekend. And what happened was we had this massive lightning storm, and we picked up this 60 cycle hum. And it prevented me from recording the commercial. So I took the mixer apart. I followed every cable to see if one of the cats ate through the cables. And I looked at the headphone amplifier. I looked at every cable, every piece of gear, and all the equipment was contributing to this 60 cycle hum. This and it was loud enough to be disruptive. So I couldn't, and I could see it on the screen. I could see it I could see the meters. I could see it in Audacity, the audio editing software. I could see the hum on the screen. So I couldn't get the commercials done. And finally, I found the problem. And it wasn't even in the studio. And what I had done was I bought an American Power Conversion APC uninterruptible power system, a big one, 1500 watts. And I put it in the barn, and I hooked it up to two huge marine batteries. And the idea was that if the power failed, I would have enough reserve capacity with these two great big batteries to run through the broadcast and keep the electronics working, the high-speed internet, all that stuff. It would run all the computers through the 2-hour broadcast, and then I could fire up the generator. Everything would be fine. Well, the cable that I ran a separate power cable underground in conduit from the barn to the house. And that's what the studio runs on, this 20 amp circuit. That's where the hum was. The hum was in the UPS, which got hit by lightning. So here's the whole point of this. The internet was slow. There was hum on the audio. And, when you think about, this alleged terrorism that we're so concerned about in this country, all someone would have to do is create 60 cycle hum, and our equipment wouldn't work right. Just 60 cycle hum. 60 cycle hum, back in the 1960s, there was 60 cycle hum in all kinds of equipment, but the electronics weren't that sensitive. Radios would have 60 cycle hum, televisions would have 60 cycle hum, telephones, you'd hear on telephones. It was no big deal. Now it's a big deal. So what I wanted to share with you in our class is that if you have 60 cycle hum, AC current flowing back and forth in your power lines, it's everywhere. That if you have enough of it, it's disruptive to electronics. And I think that is probably one of the ways that we could be taken down with a whimper. What do you think, John?
Yeah, it's the case where the more and more technology we get, the easier it is to insert disruptions.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just a good thing you didn't have a bell connected to it. So then you could have had a real humdinger.
Jeez. A bell ringer, that was a term that was used when somebody died back a couple hundred years ago. They would bury him and they would tie a string to their finger. And so if they were buried alive, they could, pull the string and ring the bell. And that'd be a dead ringer. Really. So if they're in a casket and it's like, oh man, I shouldn't be in here. They wake up, someone buries them, accidentally. Somebody pronounces them dead and they're really not dead. So, that's a dead ringer. Well, John, we're gonna learn about, what's on the financialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. I'm there right now. I've clicked the news tab and I see spy, tech, control, preparedness, bigger picture. Where do you want to start?
I figure we start with preparedness and, one of those beauty shop tips, getting the nails done. And I want to see how you handle this on the farm. This is actually from backyardchickens.com, and it talks about, your chickens can get overgrown nails, which can cause problems, and it goes through showing how you would take care of those. They're kind of like, if you have dogs, which, well, I don't know if that counts as a dog or a horse.
You're talking about TJ?
Yeah, you need to take care of their nails.
I take orders from TJ. I've got a picture of TJ and Rick Miller, and TJ slobbering all over him. and you don't realize how big TJ is until he's sitting down next to Rick Miller, and he's I should probably post that. I should post that on the internet so you can see a picture of Rick Miller and TJ. TJ is our English Mastiff. He's actually a pretty big dog.
Yeah, if you're sitting there and he decides to lean into you, you're not going anywhere.
Well, that's really true. That's really true. Sometimes, we have that sofa in the kitchen, and we have sofa beds all over the farm. We have 3 of them in the downstairs living room, if you will, or great room, whatever you want to call it. We have one upstairs in the just outside the studio, and we have one in the kitchen. So we have 5 of these sofa beds. And so when we have guests here, that's what happens. And for the expo, every one of them was used. And so sometimes, if I'm in the kitchen, I'll just come in from working on the farm, and I'll lie down in one of the sofa beds and just take my shoes off and just lie down, and he will lean against me, and sometimes he'll climb on top of me. He wants a big hug, and he'll just climb on top of me, and I can't move. Literally, he weighs way more than I do. But he's a nice dog. He's a happy, affectionate dog.
I still think you need to get this picture taken and post a sign. Trespassers welcome. Our dogs are hungry.
Yeah, with the price of dog food, and trespassers welcome. Yeah, he's a pretty big dog. The UPS guys, they're all afraid of him. I mean, everybody that comes to the farm it's like, whoa. I guess he's the size of a miniature pony, right?
If you're sitting down, you're looking eye to eye.
Yeah. And when he sits down, his head is higher than the kitchen table. When he sits down, he's a really nice, well-behaved, I think, pretty well-behaved dog. As a matter of fact, John, I couldn't get a collar for him. They don't make one that big. Now, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I used a belt initially. I used a belt, and I said that's not going to work. So I made one just out of a piece of nylon. I just got this long, 3-foot long piece of nylon, put an end in it, not in the end of it, and that's what he wears. And that's just a suggestion for him, because actually, if he doesn't want to do it, he's not going to do it. But anyway, so what do you have on the list for today?
Just get back to the chickens here. Any of these practices you do with trimming nails or beaks on your chickens? No, I'll tell you, we haven't done any of that, and I don't know if we have to, and here's why. Our chickens are free range, and they are scratching and digging everywhere. I mean, if they're not sleeping, that's what they're doing. So they seem to, and we have some gravel and we have some stones, and they like to look under all kinds of things. So we haven't had the need to do that, but maybe we should pay more attention. But we have not trimmed their beaks nor their nails. But tell us what why this should be done. Well, sometimes the chickens decide to decide on literally the pecking order.
Right.
You're trying to keep injuries down, and well, again, with overgrown nails, it's sharp, and it's much like with a dog. If you ever have the dog climb up on you with long nails, and it can be problematic. Not that it's life-threatening or anything, but it's just one of those matters of something that may need tending to.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do have a rooster with spurs, but in this post that you have, there are some chickens with some beaks that are really, really overgrown. We don't have anything that looks like that. Ours are pretty much the way they should be. But the spurs, that's a problem. So I may trim the spurs on the rooster. That would be it. Another remedy is sticking a hot potato on the spur. Cook the potato, stick it to the spur, grab pliers. Okay. I don't know. All right. What else do you have about that?
I just brought it up because I'm one of those people that have not had an opportunity to raise farm animals. So I'm looking for tips from people that do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done it. We only have one chicken that has spurs. The rest don't. And it hasn't really been too much of a problem at this point. And we think of it as their natural defense feature, if you will.
Hi, my name is Scott Fuchs, teacher and rowing coach for over 14 years. I was sluggish, overweight, on prescription drugs, and only 30-something. Fortunately, I was referred to Dr. Z, and happy to say Dr. Z's all-natural protocols over a consistent course resolved my health issues. I'm in the best shape of my life, and most importantly, on 0 medications.
I'm Dr. Zdanowski, author of Evology, trained as a primary care physician, surgical manipulation under anesthesia, expert in nutrition, diet, weight loss, immune system, and I specialize in chiropractic. My 15 years of professional experience has taught me the 4 keys to vibrant health: a balanced musculoskeletal system, an integrated nervous system, a flowing lymphatic system, and a body filled with over 90 essential nutrients. This has been a secret too long. Actualize your potential, reverse disease. Call me, Dr. Z. 201-945-1177, 201-945-1177, evolyourself.com.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Captain John Regan's with us, and Captain John Regan, I want to share a short story with you. Over the weekend, I bought a new, I bought a used tax deduction. A new tax deduction to me, but a used piece of gear. And one of the things I talked about at the Get Prepared Expo was how you can start your own business and enjoy the same tax deductions that the rich take. So I bought a rototiller, and I looked at a bunch of different models, and Troy-Bilt was always one of the, the strongest, best made. And so at $769 for a small Troy-Bilt Bronco rototiller, I thought that was exorbitant in price. So I found one for $300 used, and it was like in immaculate condition. So our son and I picked it up over the weekend, and I thought, this is great. It's got a cast iron gearbox, and it's got, steel tines. It still had the paint on them. It was in great condition. And I looked at it, and I really couldn't, it said Troy-Bilt on the engine. I couldn't find, or it said Briggs & Stratton or some other brand of engine. It had an overhead valve engine. I thought, that's great. It looked nice. It really did. And so got it home. And I really looked carefully to find out. I said, I think this engine's made in China. It's made in China. So I did some more research, and engines on, most small equipment, 90% of the engines on small equipment are made in China. So we used to have Tecumseh, Clinton, Briggs & Stratton. Those were, the U.S. engines that were made, in the United States. The staple of the engine for the, like, lawnmowers and small equipment. Not anymore. U.S. engines, 90% of them appear to be made in China. And I was angry. I was really, really angry about this. And I'll tell you why. I look at the Clintons with their relaxing of the trade. There's no barriers. So we've destroyed the small engine manufacturing, in the United States. All the companies, every single one, we've destroyed it. And we've allowed our sick government to let this happen. And, we're just watching ball games and watching TV and watching sitcoms and so forth. And we're allowing this to happen. It's all around us. And the Troy-Bilt Bronco is flimsy. It's really flimsy compared to the way I remember a Troy-Bilt being made. Strong steel, strong handlebars, strong everything. This thing is flimsy. And it's probably one of the best that you can get, but it's still flimsy, and it doesn't have to be flimsy. And when I think of a Troy-Bilt rototiller, I think this thing should last generations, at least. And I remember when you had a small engine, you could get a piston, you could get rings, you could get valves, you could rebuild the engines. Now, I don't know. I think they're disposable now. John, it makes me angry that we have let America get to this point where we've turned over so much of our manufacturing to China. Now what do we do? John, what do you think?
I was thinking of the warning that President Eisenhower gave us, because it used to be that we had industry here in America that if we went to war, that they would change their production lines to produce what we needed for war.
Right.
And then we got the military-industrial complex, which turned that into a year-to-year money-making basis rather than just a wartime money-making basis. And then we got the globalists in that moved that offshore, which greatly weakened the United States. So if you try to look at the strategic part of this, that either means that they are trying to destroy the United States, making it weak, which could be just part of the equation. The other part is that it's part of a bigger plan so that they can implement their utopian, one world global status police state. and they're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at a website and it says brand names with American-made snowblower bodies and all Chinese-made engines as of 2013. MTD brands, that's Cub Cadet, Troy Built, Yard Machines, most Craftsman, all Chinese engines. Toro, all Chinese engines. Yep. John Regan and I'll be right back.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Captain John Regan's with us. Captain John Regan, where are we going next?
Going to go ahead and slide down to the bigger picture. Can't go to Radio Shack for these batteries. And I read about this, and I think things are a little bit different now in the age of Fukushima. The whole thing about this article is that NASA is running out of batteries. They have enough plutonium-238 to build 3 more batteries. And apparently the program has been restarted to create more plutonium-238, but in the meantime, they're very restricted on this material, and it's used in deep space missions, and I believe they also used it for the Mars rover because it's a nice, long-lasting battery. The downside, nuclear power is great until something goes wrong, is when you're sending this up, you're basically, putting it on a device that can go boom. And if that happens, you got a nice big dirty bomb. And plutonium is one of the worst of the radioactive isotopes out there, because just inhaling a speck of that, and you're guaranteed to die from cancer.
John, as you talk about this, I think about what the government says and what the government does. The government says that if we have an oil leak in our vehicle and we drive over to some store's parking lot and we park there while we're shopping, and then we pull out and the next guy drips some oil there. I know of a situation where the EPA has come and fined a store because of the oil drippings in the parking spots, okay, from their customers. They've made the stores tear up their parking lot. They bring in this $25,000 per use machine to burn up all of that pavement, okay, where the oil dripped. That's how they solve it. They tear up the parking lot and then they burn off all of this oil that dripped on the parking lot, so it won't run downhill into the water supply. Okay, so that's what happens to us, we the customers. Now the government will take U-238, put it in a spacecraft, and blast it out into space and pollute the universe. Right? Am I confused?
I guess you don't have to make sense when you're the government.
John, one of our guests at the expo printed off this. She made this collage, and she thought that I needed to have this. And this is hysterical. I mean, this girl has a brilliant, brilliant sense of humor. So she made this collage of all these stickers and bumper stickers and sayings, and one of them says, a patriot must always be ready to defend his country against his government. Edward Abbey. Another one is the don't tread on me, that yellow with the don't tread on me snake, and it says don't tread on anyone. Another one is it's a bumper sticker for it relates to the police. It says, "Dear officer, what part of the Constitution are you defending today?" Another one is the American flag. It says, "We torture people to death." Another one says, "Too many cops." Another one is, "What good fortune for the governments that the people do not think." That was Adolf Hitler. Then there's a picture of Barry Soetoro, and it says, "Number 1 gun salesman in history." Another one, and this is one of my favorites. "Give a man a gun and he can rob a bank. Give a man a bank and he can rob the world." How true, right?
Unfortunately.
Yep. And those are just, and she made me this wonderful pencil holder or pen holder. She took a soup can and she put all these sayings on it, and it's absolutely hysterical. It's what we the patriots think about the world and about our government, all in one soup can. And 1 second. Okay, so for example, there's Uncle Sam, and it says, "I'm spying on you." It's just so many. What would MacGyver do? There's the U.S. Postal Service logo. It says, "I'm going postal today." I don't know. It's so sad. It's so sad that all these things are happening to us, and so many people just don't see it, John. you know, the 99%ers have no clue that this is happening to all of us, and they're just going to their ball games and watching TV, and as the world burns, especially the United States. Where are we going next on the financial state of the union?
And that's a great segue into the next article. We're in the wrong business.
We are.
You know, I've been on the air with you a little over 3 years now, trying to get people to wake up and take action. And to say that this doesn't pay well, not paying well would be an improvement. And
are you kidding? Paying it all would be an infinite raise, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
You and I, actually, John, our compensation is exactly on par. Okay, I mean, you and I get the same amount, right? Nothing. It's true. It's absolutely true. In terms of broadcasting, you know, nobody writes us a check for broadcasting. Absolutely not. So let's talk about it, John.
So we have the Chief Executive Officer of Discovery has they released what his pay was for 2014. He made $156 million for lovely shows like Shark Week, Honey Boo Boo, and Oprah Winfrey. So apparently, if you're in the business of distracting people and making it to where they don't know what's coming, it rewards handsomely.
Yeah, and okay. So who watches this trash? Seriously, who watches this trash? I don't. John, I'll tell you, I've heard the term honey boo boo, but I can't tell you what it means. Okay? I really can't. I have no idea.
Unfortunately, I know a little bit more than you. Honey Boo Boo is this little girl. It's her, I guess, nickname that, you know, it's one of those reality shows about her and her mother, and I can't even stand to look at pictures of them. They're so disgusting.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at some of the compensations or TV executive salary for 2013. Looks like, let's see, CBS Viacom, $93.4 million. Just plain old CBS, 66.9. At Disney's way down, 34.3. Discovery, 33.3. Time Warner, 32.5 million. Comcast, 31.4 million. NBC, 31.1 million. How does this happen? Are these people worth this? Seriously. You know, I remember when the salary of the top guy, like the CEO, the president of the enterprise, might make 50 times more than the little guy. 50 times. This is almost infinitely more. How does that happen? Like Disney. You know, the people at Disney, the little people make minimum wage. They put those costumes on and they wave and they go out there and they have to put a smiley face on and meet the guests at the theme park. They make minimum wage. And then Bob Iger makes $34.3 million annually.
And keep in mind that, you know, we're paying for this too, because most of these networks, whether they're the old-fashioned style network or the cable network, they have commercials running. And those commercials are not cheap.
Right.
And what you pay for the price of the products, including those in the grocery store, are paying for those, you know, extreme advertising rates, which in turn are paying for these salaries. So when you go enjoy these high prices, think of these people that are reaping the rewards of keeping most of the country dumbed down.
John, I'm going to do a quick look up and see if I can find out how much a ticket to Disney World is.
It's over 100 now.
Okay, I'm going to find out. Hey, retail value, $105. Oh, jeez. Who in his right mind, seriously, who in his right mind would pay $105 to walk around Disney World? Who would do that? I guess everybody. Jeez.
Well, it's just another sign of how worthless the dollar has become.
You know, you're right. You're absolutely right. $105 to go to Disney World. That's once you've parked to get in through the gate and get in a long line and wait to ride a ride or wait in line to buy a hot dog or something like that, right? Or a hamburger, whatever they're selling. $105. Wow. I remember when I thought it was nuts at $35. I thought, this is insanity. Now it's 3 times that much. Wow. Well, John, we need to start saying no. You know, when children say they want to go there, we just say, no, we're not doing that. No, you know, let's buy some food instead. Wow. I'm stunned. $105 for tickets for Disney. You know, 3 tickets and you can have a used Chinese engine rototiller. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Class, I'm all excited. I was talking to the guns80.com guys over the weekend, And of course, they were at the Get Prepared Expo. And I have one. And our family's getting more. Well, they wanted to make one that I really, really like. Now, in the studio, I have an AR-15, and it has a carry handle, iron sights, plain Jane. So it's a plain Jane, very simple AR-15, without the quad rail, and it just has iron sights. It's lightweight, has a collapsible stock, and they're going to make that available. I explained to them that that's what I thought, would be something that others would want to. So they're making that model available, and I think it'll be ready at the end of the week. That's guns80.com. And if you give them a call or you contact them at guns80.com, you can let them know that you'd like the one that Vin Finelli likes, the one with the carry handle. And here's my thought on that. There's so many who want to accessorize their AR-15 with scopes and flashlights and so forth. I want it lightweight. I want a short barrel. I want to be able to maneuver with it. I want to be able to run with it and carry it. And if I can accurately shoot 200 yards standing up, that's pretty good. And I can. I've been able to hit a 6 or 8 inch steel disc at 200 yards easily with an AR-15 standing up. So if you can do that, that would probably be what you'd need. That, being able to hit a target quickly, that's what you want. And so I wrote this commercial. It's probably a little over the top. I asked Mrs. Finelli what she thought of it, and I wasn't able to record it because we had hum. But I said, how many of you'd like to learn how to dig up worms, and bugs, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. Then it says you may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. And it goes on like that. So I haven't been able to record it because of the hum, but that was the tone of the commercial. So I just want to share that with you. That's coming. So a little bit of humor. And, actually we had a lot of predators here at the farm. We had a lot of poachers, shooting deer from the road. And what we did? We initially, when we first moved here, we called the authorities, and they were of little help. Little help. And so what we did was we patrolled the farm, and we went up and down our dirt road with our AR-15s, and we stopped every car. Literally, we stopped every car during hunting season with all these hunters in orange, blaze orange, and camo, and we'd say, "What are you doing?" And they said, "We're just looking around." "Where do you live?" "Do you live on this road?" "No." "Huh. Okay. Well, we're just watching." And so we'd have our AR-15s with us, and you know what? They stopped coming. They stopped coming down the road because they were concerned that we were watching them, and we were. So you may want to get your own AR-15 because we may get to the point very, very quickly where you will not have any results if you call the authorities. And by the way, we recommend never calling 911. Never call 911 because everyone we know who has been responded to by 911, they've gotten beaten or tased or hurt in some way. So never call 911. John Regan, back to you.
Okay, let's slide on down to warm south. And this article talks about something.
Did I do that? Did I do that?
After the news.
After the news. Okay, so John, will you bring us back from on hour number 2? Will you take us back from hour number 2? I'll hit the mute button, okay? All right, I'll hit the mute button. John Regan's going to bring us back, and I'll try really hard. This is USAPrepares.com. I'm Vin Finelli. John Regan's with us.
Who has over 65 seed varieties of 34 different vegetables?
Down to Earth.
Who has over 63,000 seeds packaged to last 50 years?
Down to Earth.
Whose seeds can be frozen to maintain germination?
Down to Earth seeds. No hybrids, no GMOs, just proven old-time seed varieties grown all over the country by our grandparents. Our kits have the best variety and the largest quantities of vegetable seed for the best price. Get your food security now at downtoearthseeds.com or call 870-427-3039.
Good people need help. The Homeowners Association said we had weeds and fined us $25. We told them they had the wrong house. They said if we didn't pay it, they'd file a lien. Our attorney demanded photographs, witnesses, and told them if they couldn't provide this, they must cease and desist. Issue solved. Worry less and live more with lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com or call 855-340-SAVE. That's 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Captain John Regan. Class, meet up tonight. Meet up tonight at Jimmy's Egg. And we're going to show a movie. And John Dollarheight is bringing the movie. So, and of course, we'll have the news monologue and news discussion first. By the way, John Regan, there's a post on our website, usaprepares.com, 31 brands of cheap California wines accused of containing dangerous levels of arsenic. Who are they? Well, according to this post, Sutter Home, Corbel, Francia, Trader Joe's, Charles Shaw, better known as Two Buck Chuck, and there's 31 wines listed as having high levels of arsenic. Acronym Almaden, Arrow Creek, Bandit, Bay Bridge, Behringer, Charles Shaw, Charles DeSalle, Glen Ellen, Cooks, Corbett Canyon, Cupcake, Fetzer, Fisheye, Flip Flop, Foxhorn, Francia, Hawkstone, Corbel, Mogan David, Oak Leaf. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's on the website, usaprepares.com. So if you want to see the list of wines that may have high levels of arsenic, it's on the website, usaprepares.com. John Regan, this is hour number 2, and you've got some news that we need to know about.
Well, just to comment on that, at least arsenic's all natural. Would you like some fluoride in your water?
Well, that's a really good point. John, we a guy came up to us at the expo, and he said, "How do you do it? How do you sell so many water filtration systems?" He'd never seen so many water filtrations sold at an expo. And, I said, it's really simple. You have to have, top quality water filtration systems, and you have to have them at a very good price. Other than that, you do that and it's easy. Well, and by the way, so we'll have some, and if you're interested, I'll give you our phone number here at the studio, and we'll make them available. I haven't been able to get them on the website. We've got a small problem with the website, getting images on there, but just call 417-462-1105, 417-462-1105. That number is on our website, and we have ProPure water filtration systems available at the same price that everybody else sells them at, except we offer an instant rebate. So that's why we sold so many, really. And by the way, there's another product that we're carrying, earthworkshealth.com, earthworkshealth.com. They have diatomaceous earth, and we will be making it available on our website, and you can buy it from us and we will ship it to you, or you can buy it directly from earthworkshealth.com. It's the same product. And other people said, in 4 hours you sold cases of Earthworks Health DE. Yeah, we did. And for the same reason. Great product at a great price. And so we sold out in 4 hours at the expo. First 4 hours, it was gone. And so we have more coming in, and we'll be able to ship it to you if you're interested. That's diatomaceous earth. Aaron Dakins takes it, and I take it. And other instructors take it as well. John Regan, back to you.
And I'm one of those too. I developed a cocktail of, it was before we even left Texas, that includes DE, vitamin C, MSM, and we use that to wash down our serapeptase, which helps take care of inflammation. So it's a really great morning cocktail to take at least a half hour before breakfast.
I remember a cough drop commercial back, maybe a decade ago, and it was one of these small companies. And the owner of the company said, whatever the brand of the cough drops is, tastes awful, and it works. And, I can't say that, taking a half a teaspoon of diatomaceous earth in water tastes great. I can't say that because it's not true. It's, I can't think of anything that's like it. It's not all that pleasant. So, we've had some people come visit the farm, and we've given them some of Dr. Wallach's Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and they'll make a frown and say, I don't know, it doesn't taste all that great. Well, I never considered that a feature that you have to, if you take vitamins. I've never considered the fact that they should taste great. I've never considered that. To me, it's a supplement, and I down it. Not that it tastes bad. It doesn't. But, it's not something that, if you want a soda or something like that, it doesn't have the taste of a soda. However, you don't drink soda for your health. You drink a soda to destroy your health. So when you take DE, to me, it's not, I won't say unpleasant, but it certainly is not pleasant. Do you agree with that, or do you have a different opinion?
Yeah, we basically call it mud.
Yeah, kind of like a tasteless mud, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's on the list?
Okay. We were talking about, have an article here that said they're having a heat wave in Antarctica that hit as high as 63.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And the reason I pulled this in is because we've talked about, Dr. Richard Allen Miller broke some news at the expo that a mini ice age may be upon us in a couple of years, and it would be a sudden event. And, well, he only knows so much, too. And we have to take that intel and start looking at what's going on around us. So to me, this is one of those articles that ties in there because part of this change is due to ice melting, changing the salinity of the oceans, which changes our weather. And the earliest that Dr. Miller had for this event would be 2017. So it's not like we have to, run around like, chickens with their heads cut off. We've got some time to look at this, look at the evidence, and there's things I'm going to be bringing up as we go along because it gets into some areas that you have to do some research beyond what you can normally do on the internet because the temperatures are so extreme. You have to start enlisting the help of people with various science and engineering disciplines to get the answers on. Because minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit is below what most things are designed for. So a lot of things will freeze. How well they recover from the freezing, there's just some answers we need. And then we'll have to decide whether or not we need to take some preparatory steps. And unfortunately, if this ice age does happen, by the time we see the actual warning signs, it's probably going to be too late to build anything. So unless you have like a cave or an abandoned mine nearby, you may literally be left out in the cold. But it's like the rest of what I talk about with the unprepared prepper and the financial state of the union. Sooner or later, this event's coming that's going to change our way of life, at least in the supply chain area. And if you're not ready for that with some food and being able to get your own clean water and have shelter, then it doesn't matter if it's an ice age or EMP or just a financial collapse. You've got some serious times ahead of you. So this is just part of the intel I'm bringing in for you to help connect the dots yourself to decide which direction you want to go.
John Regan, I've been thinking about what Rick Miller said here kind of privately among us instructors at the farm, and he's talking about, the next ice age and the rapid onset, and he calls it the day after tomorrow, like the movie. And I really don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it like it is. It's if it's true, if it does happen, it'll be absolutely terrifying. It'll be a wipeout. It will be a game over event. Am I convinced? I don't know. Am I convinced? I really don't know. So on Thursday, he's going to be talking some more about that. However, Mrs. Finelli and I have been talking about, all right, what would we do? And it's a huge problem. I mean, if it gets really cold really fast, it'll wipe out the animals. We won't be able to protect our animals. So that means that the cows are going to die. The fox are going to die. The dogs are going to die. The cats are going to die. It's going to be a wipeout. The bugs, the birds, everything. Most of us humans, if this were to happen. And how do you reset from this? I mean, how do you start over? Literally, how do you start over? The trees will be dead. Any plants that we have, any fruit trees that we have, it's all going to go. It's all going to die. So I want to learn more about what Rick Miller's talking about. I really do. So that's on Thursday, and he'll be with us. And I suggest, class, that if you want to learn more about this, you write down your questions, and you can call us, and I'll give you the number, 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Repeat, 866-582-9933. And Dave in Missouri, hold that line. We'll be with you right after these few short commercial announcements. John Regan's with us. I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer Bidbit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. Bidbit.co.
Captain John Regan's with us, and Dave in Missouri, you've been patiently waiting on hold. Thanks for calling. Welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Morning, Dave.
Hey, I just wanted to comment on the expo, if that's all right.
Sure.
I was blessed to talk to you back in November, and you were kind enough to talk to me about 20 to 30 minutes about the expo. And I was telling you that I was bringing my family, and you had asked me what did I expect to get out of the expo, or what did I want to get out of the expo. And I just wanted to tell you that what I wanted to get out of the expo was I wanted my family to wake up and know what was going on. Mm-hmm. And that happened. And I'm just so thankful to you guys. And we had our first family meeting this weekend. And we got together, and we started to form a plan. And I just wanted to thank you guys, the bottom of my heart, that what happened was accomplished. And my whole family was grateful. And another thing that you had mentioned was that this will be one of the top 10 memorable things in your life. And I was like, you don't know my life. I said, thought to myself, I'm the son of a pilot and the son of a flight attendant, and I've lived a pretty good life. And I wanted to tell you, Vince, it was one of the top 10 memorable things in my life as far as events go, because I got to thinking, what are the memorable events in my life? And the top thing was the Lord Jesus Christ changing my heart. And then I got to thinking, what were other things? And it was my family, marrying my best friend, making her my wife, and spending the rest of my life with her. And then I just wanted to relay that message to you, that you touched my family in a way that really matters. And I got to thinking that the best events in my life are the things that are life-changing. And this was definitely a life-changing thing for me and my family. And I just thank you and the rest of the instructors from the bottom of my heart.
Dave, I've made that claim to a number of people that, before they come to the expo, if they've never been to it, I will say these words. I'm willing to bet, I'm not a betting man, that this will be one of your 10 most memorable events in your life. And that's kind of the way I say it. And what I mean by that is, yes, it will be a life-changing event, and the people whom you will meet will impact you so greatly that it will be that memorable. And I'm thinking, back in my life, certainly meeting Mrs. Finelli and marrying Mrs. Finelli, that's certainly very, very, very high on in my memories, and getting a driver's license and graduating high school, and those things are in there too, right? Well, everybody that I talk to ranks it even higher than in the top 10. They rank it like in the top 5. And, right. And these are people I've never met before. I will make that claim. And they say something similar to what you've said, Dave. And so my thanks go out to all of the USA Prepares instructors who make it one of 10, of the top 10 most memorable events because of what they bring to this broadcast classroom and the expo. And the expo is where we all get together and meet. And did you get a chance to come to the Friday night banquet dinner?
Yes, sir.
Dave?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon.
Okay. What was your reaction to that Friday night banquet dinner? And let me just tell those who have no idea what we're talking about. This is where the instructors and the exhibitors get up for just 2 minutes at the microphone and say who we are, why we're here, what our seminar is going to be about, and that kind of thing. When we come back, would you just share with us what your reaction? Can you stay with us through this next break?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. Dave's going to stay with us from Missouri. And my question is, what was that like? And I'd also like to ask him what were on his seminar list that he attended. John Regan, Dave, and I will be right back.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoin by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer Bidbit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
John Regan's with us, and Dave from Missouri is with us, and we were talking about the Get Prepared Expo, and I made the comment before Dave came that it would be one of his life's 10 most memorable events, and he confirmed that. And Dave, you were at the banquet dinners for Friday and Saturday, and the banquet lunch on Sunday. The banquet dinner on Friday is where the instructors and exhibitors introduced themselves for 2 minutes at the microphone. What was your reaction to that?
Well, I'd have to say, I have to take it back to the family. My reaction was, one, as Rich would put it, synergy as far as like-mindedness. The talent was unbelievable, but I have to take it back to the most memorable part of Friday night would be the engagement with my entire family. And that's where I'd have to rank it as the top thing about Friday night.
Okay. And what seminars did you attend?
I attended even Friday with Matt Stein and I guess Ricky Rocket, I guess you call him now, and Dr. Richard Allenor.
Yeah.
And I would have to say the most memorable ones classes that I took would be Matt Stein, because that's where my family is at. We need to know what to do in case of emergency, and we need to know how to prepare for that. And then secondly, the most interesting, intriguing class of all was with the Silent Night. And just the extraordinary things that happen with the Underground Railroad. And also, I was able to relate that day, if I could tell a story about the Silent Night, had mentioned that even the government was using heating and air conditioning companies to infiltrate houses to gain information. And that just struck me because not a few months earlier, my heater went out, and I was forced to replace it, so I got 5 bids. And Jerry Kelly came into my house with 2 individuals, and it was really extraordinary to be able to relate to Silent Night. Yeah, but I can confirm this is going on. The first thing that came out of the man's mouth was that, how many people live in this house? And I said, none of your business. And he was sort of taken back a little bit, and I guess not far enough, because the second thing he says, can we take a look around your house? And I said, absolutely not. So I just want to relate to the USA Prepares family out there that they need to be aware of this kind of stuff because it is going on. And that's exactly how I feel, Vince. After this expo, we are a family at USA Prepares, and I just want to relay that to you. And if I can
Dave,
relate it, go ahead.
We have a meetup tonight at Jimmy's Egg, so I don't know if Silent Night will be there, but he's been to the last few. He had not had a vehicle, and someone gave him a car. And so now he gets around because he used to hitchhike. Literally, he would hitchhike from Arkansas to Missouri to Jimmy's Egg, and then he'd hitchhike back home just to be at the meetups, and it would take hours and hours and hours, just to get to Jimmy's Egg. So he's a very knowledgeable guy. A lot of people love him. I mean, everybody loves him, really. Yeah. And he has a lot of stories about, the system versus us. Yes. And, yes, sir. And he's a brilliant man. I mean, he's, he's absolutely brilliant. And he wrote some books that are very interesting. So that's Silent Night. He's very difficult to get a hold of. And we have copies of his books. So if anyone wants a copy of his books, it's $15 shipped to you, and we can ship them. I want to put them on the store so that you can get them because they're not available anywhere else except in person. You mentioned a person's name. Did you say Kelly?
Yeah, Jerry Kelly, Heating and Air Conditioning. That's who I got a bid from, and that's who came in the house and wanted to know how many people live in the house and wanted to know if they can look through my house. So, what Silent Night said, that's what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. And what we're talking about is the government intervention in everything. They want to know everything about us. They want to track our credit card purchases. They want to know what we buy, when we buy it, where we buy it, how we pay for it. And it's outrageous. And if you wonder which companies are doing well, those would be the ones who are getting the government cheese. As a matter of fact, if you look at, and this will sound self-serving, but here's the truth. There is an expo called the NPS Expo, NPS Expo. And they used to have on their website FEMA, Ready.gov, Fire Corps, CERT. Those are all government agencies. Okay. So, and they'll give you free tickets. You can go and you can have a free experience. You can go to their expo and they won't charge you to get in. But their sponsors are the government. Now, my question is, why would anyone want to go to an event that's sponsored by FEMA, the Fire Corps, Ready.gov, and CERT? Really? Really? If you want to learn how to use a fire extinguisher, go to YouTube. You don't need to go to a government-sponsored expo. As a matter of fact, I even did a commercial about, if you want to learn how to eat bugs, you go to a government-sponsored expo. We don't have time to teach you that. We have to teach you more important things. So, Dave, I'm really excited that you went to the expo, and we'll let you know if we're going to have another one. And that's if. We don't even know because, by the way, did you see the police and the fire trucks and all the stuff that the city brought to bear on the Get Prepared Expo in Lebanon, Missouri? Did you see that?
No, sir. I was in class at that time. I heard about it, though.
Yeah. They put the hammer down on us. They really did. And so I have a meeting with the mayor on Thursday. And I'll let you all know, Lebanon turned against us. Lebanon, Missouri turned against USA Prepares and the Get Prepared Expo. Everyone in Lebanon loves us. But we've got a city manager who I believe is absolutely out of control. And he said, the Constitution, they don't go by the Constitution. His words. His words. They don't go by the Constitution in Lebanon, Missouri. And the police department, well, they can do whatever they want. And they're backed by the city. And they're not interested in the facts. They don't care about the facts. Lebanon has this black fire truck. You'll have to show me one other location, one other municipality or city that has a black fire truck. Okay? They say, well, it's a school colors, black and gold. They have a black fire truck. And it says Lebanon on it. And it looks like two-thirds the length of a tractor trailer. And you really can't even tell it's a fire truck. Doesn't have a hook and ladder. It's this great big vehicle in black. And they came into the Get Prepared Expo from downtown Lebanon, lights, sirens, horns blaring. It was like an emergency. and they scared people to death. People left the expo because they saw fire trucks, 2 fire trucks in the expo. 2 fire trucks. Police were walking around. They sent the canine team. Yep. They sent cops all 3 days of the Get Prepared Expo. They wanted to show us who was in charge. They declared war on USA Prepares, Lebanon, Missouri. And I'll tell you more about it, but so you heard about the cops, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Any other comments, Dave, about the expo?
We are already talking about going again next year, so Lord willing, we hope that everything works out, or works out someplace else.
Yeah, well, I according to Mrs. Finelli, it's not going to be in Lebanon. That's for sure. They showed us who they are. They really did. But next one will be someplace else. So, class, if you have a suggestion for another expo location, we're all ears. But it's going to have to be at a location that is not government controlled, because expo number 1 and 2, they were at a government-controlled location in Springfield, Missouri. They promised us a 10% discount for returning, and they reneged. So we pulled out of there. Then Expo number 3 and 4 were at the E-Plex, the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. They shut the Wi-Fi off on us. Yeah, they wouldn't let us use the water. So we can't go back there. Expo number 5, 6, and 7. Let's see, 3 and 4 were in Springfield, the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. 5, 6, and 7 were at Lebanon, and they called the cops on us. And the fire department. Oh, and in Springfield, they called the health department, and they called the police on us. So, we can't have, are you kidding? We have an expo in a county property, and the city and county call the cops, the health department, the fire department, and the police on us. We've learned. We're slow learners. So we're going to have our next Get Prepared Expo at a private location where the cops can't come, because we're sick of it. We're literally sick of it. So, Dave, hey, thanks so much for calling.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. John Regan, back to you.
I really appreciate the feedback, because, when you're on the radio or you write a book, a lot of times you don't know the people you reach. It's a lot different than public speaking, where you get that immediate feedback from the audience. So thanks for calling.
Well, John Regan, you could hear the tone in his voice. He was really, really delighted with the results. And I think he was pleased with how his family actually woke up as a result of coming to the Get Prepared Expo. In class, there is no other expo like it. And I don't even know if we're going to be able to have another one. I really don't. I mentioned that before, and I wasn't kidding. I thought we would be overwhelmed with the authorities, and we were. They decided they were going to put the hammer down and squash us. As a matter of fact, there were 3 doctors that came from Georgia, and they left. They left because of the cops. There are other people who had airline tickets to fly in. They didn't come because they thought something would happen. So if you think, not our side, the other team, the Blue Plague. And how did it start? One guy was going to go to the city and complain. One young city cop decided he was going to enlist the full force of the city of Lebanon. And he did. So, Lebanon, we're not sure. We're not sure if we're going to call for a national boycott against the city of Lebanon. We just may do that. I'll let you know on Thursday or after Thursday when we meet with the mayor. But we've had it. We've absolutely had it. And we're going to give out the names and the numbers. John Regan, I'll be right back.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufactured manufacturers. If you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at goberkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
This is your captain, John Regan. Vince is going to test out his mute control, see how long that will last, and I can pretty much guarantee we're on the last link in Bigger Picture, mass murder, and I'm kind of guaranteeing this will punch a button. And yeah, I don't consider animals on the same level as humans, but at the same time, the needless pain, suffering, and destruction of animals kind of punches my buttons. And this is an article from South Carolina. There's been close to 1/3 chickens killed. And it's believed that there were layoffs recently and that some disgruntled ex-workers are the ones that are guilty in this. Some of these farms had the heat cranked up, so had the heat turned down depending on the age of the birds, and it was very destructive. And there's so many angles to this story. I'm sure that the disgruntled workers wanted revenge, and they figured this is a way of giving the shaft to the farm. A lot of times these farmers don't have much control either. It's the bigger companies that they work for where the chickens go to be processed and sent to the supermarket. So these people that did this, besides causing these birds to die in an unpleasant situation, losing that many birds, what's that going to do to prices? Causes you to pay more for food at the grocery store. And then, as we talked about before, from a preparedness standpoint, if we get hit with an EMP or cyber attack, something that takes the grid down, we lose a large amount of our food supply from these factory farms, because when that electricity goes down, the animals will not be able to live. Vincent?
I had the mute button hit. I did. Okay, you asked me to come back. Okay, I bought one of these chicken houses. Okay, I went down to Arkansas with our gooseneck trailer and made 3 trips and bought one of those. We bought 120 feet of it. They're about 350 feet long, and they're wall-to-wall chickens. I mean, chickens probably every 8 inches. I mean, these chicken houses have no room for anybody to move around. And they are dependent, as you said, on these massive fans that blow air, or pull air out of these chicken houses so the chickens don't overheat. So in order to have an operation like this, you have to have a well that can provide fresh water. You have to have waterers. You have to have timers, lights on, lights off. They are completely dependent on electricity. And if you shut the power down, these chickens will either die from too much heat, too much cold, literally. And the life expectancy of one of these chickens is 49 days. I know that. So like a Tyson will provide the chicks and provide the feed. And all you have to do is provide the place and the water and maintain the temperature and the climate for them. And 49 days later, Tyson picks them up and they get killed and they become packages of chicken and chicken nuggets and products like that. So you're absolutely right, John Regan. When the power's out, these birds will die within a couple days. And then, when we bought this chicken barn or this hen house, whatever you want to call it, and turned it into a barn here on the farm, they had a very large area where they put the dead chickens. And this area for the dead chickens was probably 40 feet wide by 80 feet long. Just stack them up in there. Just throw them in this area. So the food supply is fragile. Back to you.
And we've got a whole lot of spy tech and control that I'll hold over. I know those will be safe topics.
For tomorrow. Captain John Regan is going to be with us tomorrow to finish up what we didn't finish up today. Class, we've got to meet up tonight at Jimmy's Egg Movie Night in News. And above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. Thanks, Captain John Regan.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7640 today.